pals, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and a testing of some new makeup. I know, look at me. 2023, a no-buy, I already have new makeup. I didn't buy this myself. I was gifted this from my Patreoner and makeup enabler, Martha Grunwald, so a huge shout out to her. What is it, you ask? Well, if you were blind from the thumbnail, the Trixie Mattel Nighttime Realness. Now, here's what is special about this. Martha Grunwald sent me Daytime Realness when it first came out. Now, at the time, I had no idea this was the very first palette, eyeshadow palette that Trixie Mattel came out with. Super cute. I thought that it looked like a cassette, but it was meant to be a VHS tape from broadcasting because the whole theme of this was daytime television. And she thought that the epitome of daytime television glamour was blue eyeshadow. Now, I have to say, of all of the Trixie Mattel palettes that I have tried, and I think I've tried all of them except for the Katya collabs, this is my favorite one. The first one, she hit it out of the park. I thought that the shades were easy to blend, easy to apply, well pigmented. There was no black in this, but quite frankly, that shade right there, which is called Cut the Cameras, is dark enough, especially for a blue look. This palette in general was one of my favorites. It still is one of my favorites. I don't use it as often as I'd like, but it is always been the one that I have judged all of Trixie's palettes by. And quite frankly, I've had issues with Trixie's palettes because there are other palettes that needed a black eyeshadow and they didn't have one. But that said, Martha did send me the Daytime Realness, the Nighttime Realness palette. And this is the box. And then you open it. What I like about this is, now this is a monitor as opposed to the VHS. What I like about this is a little bit bigger than the original VHS palette. I thought when I looked at this, oh, there's a lot more room in this palette. Let me get that plastic out of the way. Nothing seems to be too crowded. Whereas I felt with the Trixie, with this palette, it just seemed a little more packed in, like just cheek to jowl. There's a little more breathing space here. Now, these, as you can see, are the exact same palettes. The top two rows, exactly the same. There is no difference here at all. And because I liked Daytime Realness so much, I have no problem with that being a complete repetition. But what makes this special are the bottom row, the 4 shades along the bottom. These are all different to the original. And those shades are Signing Off, which is a very gray blue, almost a navy color. Like there's almost no color. This is as close to a black as Trixie Mattel will get, but there is a definite blue tone to that. The next one is a shimmer, and it is Night Shift. And this is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it on my lights, but it is very much like a navy blue with a great shimmer on it. The one beside that is a little more of a purple. It's called Infomercial. And you can, maybe it needs more. I don't know. It's very much more of a purple tone blue, a blurple, but with the same shimmer. And then the last one on the new row is called Night Shift. Sorry, no, I'm just making stuff up now. Hot Pursuit? Hot Pursuit. I don't know what that has to do with nighttime television. But this is a definite gray shimmer. And I am not mad at all of that. The second thing that was in this box, which was a total surprise to me, was the Back To The Fuchsia blush palette. Now, I have never been interested in buying this. I'm so glad Martha sent it to me, though, because when I first saw this, I thought that this was way too dark for me. Oops. Let's get that plastic out of the way. I have the Summer Blush palette, and it is much more pink, and I love that. Look at the metallic on that highlight. It looks like metal, like the Tin Man on the Way to the Wizard of Oz metal. And I just don't like that look as a highlight for me. And then I find these two tones muddy. At least I did looking at them on camera, like in the promo ads and stuff. But the first one is called a Cyber Babe. Let me get this one on here. I don't hate that. I think that is a nice deep tone. I would definitely use that to create depth on my cheek. The next one, which is called Moon Boots. I thought it said moon boobs. Can you imagine? Moon boobs. Very fine. You can barely see it. I quite like that. I like to bring my blush up into my cheek, under my eye, just to get some color in there. And you can build that up. It's hard to see on my lights, but you can build that up. And it blends really nicely with Cyber Babe. So I'm not mad at either of those tones. This is where I've put, this is Cyber Babe and this is Moon Boots. Moon Boots. Hard to see it. I have to say, I'm very impressed with how sheer these two colors are because they are quite dark. But the star of this show, and I'm so surprised I'm saying this because I just did not like this, just to look at it, has to be the highlighter, which is called Hologram. I'm going to put this at the top. Look at it. It's just right there. And I have to say, I thought it would look gray. I thought it would look tinny, but it's actually quite sheer. You just catch that there. I thought it would be quite sheer. I'm surprised that it's so sheer that as it is. And it does build up nicely. If you're really interested in getting like that hot shimmer shim highlight, it will build up. You can just see it there. Oh, look, there it is. But so impressed to try this because, as I say, it's not a color story that I would have trusted to work for me. But again, once again, thank you to Martha for enabling me. And also, you know, it's like our anniversary, our makeup anniversary. She sent me the first Trixie Mattel eyeshadow palette, and now I have the update of it. So to keep this all Trixie all the time, I will also be using the Trixie Cosmetic brushes, which I have. Martha actually sent me the Sweet Treats Bake Shop, Sugar Shack, Trixie's latest collection of brushes. And then I have some of her Pink Handle series. This is what we're calling it, the Pink Handle series. So we'll be using those. I have other brushes I might need to dip into here and there. I'm also going to be using the Trixie Mattel Juno Birch collab mirror, the pink and blue one. I love this one. I think it's so pretty. And I have to say, if you're going to buy a branded mirror to do your makeup with, I love the shape of these. Because it's wide through here, you get a real sense of the eyes, so you can really focus in on what you're doing. I'm going to go in with signing off on this brush, and I have incredibly hooded eyes, but also drag makeup is big, so what I do is I just relax my face and then start in. Now what's interesting with this, just out of the gate, it's a lot bluer on a brush in that first application. It builds up really nice. Not a lot of fallout, if any. Yeah, this is nice. I like the depth of this. It's almost a black. It could be black adjacent. I usually keep a terry cloth towel or face cloth or something on my knee just to kind of color switch out my brushes so I can use more or less the same brushes. And the reason that I'm clearing this brush off is I'm going into a Daily Double, which is this dark blue matte up here. I just want to show you these two. This is Signing Off, which I just put on my eyelids. And then right above that, I'm going to put Cut the Cameras, which is this color right here. They're very similar looking, but I want to show you that Cut the Cameras is actually not as blue. It's more purple. You see that? It's actually a deeper color. So I'm probably later on going to go into that color just to really define my outer V. But for right now, I've color switched my brush and I'm going into Daily Double. And I'm just going to continue with this crease with that lighter color. Not lighter, it's brighter. You're looking for a blue palette and you don't want a 42 pan Beauty Bay palette. This is a good blue. This is a good blue palette. There's lots of good blues in here that are useful in a number of ways. I've been having a lot of trouble with my nose contour and eye contour and all of that lately. I've been really studying other queens' application, and I think I'm just shy to kind of go big with my makeup, which is ironic. But I've been watching a lot of queens' faces and just realizing that they're able to get that, like, go big, but they're still able to blend it and soften it and, you know, kind of not let it get away from them too much. So yeah, I like that. That's not bad. I'm now going to just color switch my brush, and I'm going to go into Channel Surfer, which is this very electric blue. I really love this. And I'm just going to put this on the edge of this darker color. Yeah, I just love that. I think that's a great color. I was born in the 60s, the later 60s. And so I was kind of conscious during the 70s. There was a lot of blue eyeshadow. Even Barbie had blue eyeshadow. So I don't know. It's certainly a color I'm comfortable with, but I definitely prefer green or green and blue together. I'm just going to take now a flat blender. I'm going to go into Cut the Channel, which is that purpley darker color, and I am just going to build that up in here. I'm just taking one of the big packer, wide packers, large smudgers, I don't know. And I'm going back into Signing Off and just going to try and draw this darker color out just a bit. This is what I love about this brush shape, is that it just allows you to just kind of do what you need to do in minimal steps. I love that. I think that that's just so, it makes it so much easier. Yeah, I think that's a lot of depth there for no black in the palette. This is why I have no problem with this at all. Now I'm going to take, it's very dusty in the pan though. I will say this. There's a lot of kick up, which I'm not a huge fan of, only because, especially with shimmers and that, it can get into other colors and contaminate them. So I just try and take it easy with that. So I'm going to take this fluffy blender from the Sweet Shop collection, Sugar Shop Candy Cookie, I don't know what it was called. I'm going into Weather Girl, which is this turquoisey lighter blue right there. It is, it's definitely green leaning, this blue, but it's not It's not terrible, but the reason I like it is because it is lighter than everything else, and I am just ever so delicately brushing that on. I just want to draw this blue out as far as I can. It's better with these things to start subtle and get bigger, bolder as you go. I'm really excited to do this makeup tutorial review because I feel like I give Trixie Mattel makeup a hard time, and I don't want to imply that I don't like her makeup. I'm going to now go in with the same big fluffy brush into Channel Surfer again, that peacocky blue, and I just want to draw this out from the darkness. From the darkness of the crease colors. My problem with Trixie Mattel, I think my biggest problem with Trixie Mattel was the bottle blonde. Everything in that was almost the same tone, and it was really hard to work with for me. But I have Plant Gay. I like Plant Gay. It's all right. I haven't used it very much. The Juno Birch palette, I like some of it. My big problem with that is there's no black. But it's not the worst makeup I've ever used, you know? I just wish that, I don't know, I just wish because of Trixie being who she is makeup-wise, that there was more of that feeling in her makeup, more drag makeup. I just really do feel like she could have gone more pigmentation, more um, variety of tones. I feel like sometimes her palettes are very one note tone wise. But I do understand that she's selling makeup to the public and not to drag queens only or at all. She is trying to market her stuff to as broad an audience as possible. And I will say this, her blushes are the stars of her show. There are two shimmers in this palette that are very pale. Televangelist and Static. And so let's have a look at, this is Televangelist. Very, very silver, very holier than thou. And then this is Static. Static seems to be a little sheerer. It seems more like a topper color, like it would go well over one. Do you see how it's lighter than this one here is Televangelist, and that's Static. And Static is just a sheerer, a little more lavender than blue almost shimmer, but they're both gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my crease. I'm also going to use this to just cut my eyebrow a little bit. I'm going to go in with another pencil brush. And I think for the eyebrow bone, I'm going to go in with Static because it's the sheerer of the two. And I'm just going to go on directly onto the primer. I'm going to tap it on first, kind of to use it to set the primer. Yeah, this is really pretty. As I say, I've always been a fan of the Daytime Realness. And because this Static is sheer, I am going to bring it down a little bit just to get them all on the same page. And then I'm taking my big fluffy with nothing on it and just going back in to get some of that blue back in with that. I knew that I was going to like this palette because 2/3 of it I've already experienced and worked. And I have to tell you, I'm not finding much of a difference in the formulation. I don't know if let me just have a feel here. I'm going to go into Daily Double, which is this blue here. Now, I've had this palette since it launched, so the chances of this being a little maybe past its shelf life, maybe a little dustier than it needs to be, is pretty good. That's Daily Double right there. And then I'm going into the Daily Double in the new palette. It does feel a little creamier, I'm not going to lie to you. And look at that pigment. Way more pigmented. So clearly this one's on the verge of expiration. But as far as I'm concerned, these shimmers are really good. This is the blue one called Soap Star. That's Soap Star right there. And I'm just putting it on. That's Soap Star from the Daytime Realness palette. And then, here's a clean finger. You heard me. Here is Soap Star from the Nighttime Realness. And that's the furthest one out. They're very similar. I don't feel much of a difference in the formula. Some of Trixie Mattel's makeup does feel gritty sometimes, but I have to say I don't feel that in the Nighttime Realness. So maybe there's been an improvement on the formula, and maybe it's showing up here. Now that I've done my makeup, I'm going to take another flat blender, and I'm going to go into one of the new colors. I'm going into a Night Shift, which is this navy shimmer right there. And just going to start. Do you see how much fallout there is? It just kind of, ooh, God damn it, now I broke the whole thing. No, we're good. We're good. All right. I can't have nice things. Just going to go into the outer corner with this shimmer. This is a very dark color. I don't know if you can see any of the shimmer. I'm not seeing a lot of shimmer even just up close, but it's a nice blue. It really does go with these other blues really well. I'm going to color switch my own brush on Matera cloth, and I'm going to go into the next shimmer, which is Infomercial, which is that blurple color right there. And just give that a pat right next to this. This is much more shimmery. Yeah, I like that. That's all right. Now I'm going to go right into Soap Star, which is that light blue shimmer. These are going on really well without spraying them, without putting any glitter glue down. I just have the primer on. I feel like we're getting a good representation of the shimmer. I can feel this falling on my cheeks, though. There's a lot of fallout. But I find like a lot of shimmer formulas do that anyway, so I'm not mad at it. Frustrates me. There's a lot of fallout on my face. I feel like I have blue freckles. All right, now I'm going to have to take another pencil brush from another line. I don't know whose this is. And I'm going into Televangelist, which is the less sheer of the two white shimmers that's in here. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, I'm going to get rid of some of this fallout. I find the best way to get rid of fallout is to not just use a big powder brush, but to put some powder on the brush. Don't just go at it with a dry brush or a naked brush, as it were. I like to make sure there's just a little bit of powder on there just to help move any of this fallout away. Fingerdoo's crossed. Oh, yeah. Got a bit of a blue nose going on. It's okay. I'm going to go back in here with some concealer. Well, that did better. Yeah, that's all right. Of course, I like to always hit my face with a bit of setting spray in between stages just to kind of give each layer time to settle and cohese. Speaking of cohesion, I'm going to be using the Trixie Mattel Juno Birch collab for my eyebrows because there are some really great brown colors in here for, even this orange is nice. It's paws. But Pluto Root, Human Beans. Pluto Root is this one, Human Beans is this one, and the Grim Reaper is this darker one here. So I'm going to do my signature ombre eyebrow, and with my Jessup wide angled brush. I don't even know what this is. Here we go. Ooh, she quizzical. Now I'm just going to go in now with my NYX, I don't even know what these are called, jumbo pencil. This is the white one. I don't need to sharpen it because I'm doing my water line with it. This is a great pencil for the water line. It's a great way to do a highlight on your eyebrow because it's so big. It's like one and done. Do you know what I mean? I also like to wipe it off before I go to use it again because it's white. You're going to get other colors on it. I'm also just going to pat this out here. I don't want it to be like a white blob right there. Now, before I do my under eye, I'm going to go in and brighten up my this area. I'm using the Juvia's Place concealer in 24. It's their lightest one. I've been baking lately with a white powder, Mayron's white powder, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I've just been finding that on camera, it just makes me look stark, kind of along the lines of um, Deja Sky and Mistress sometimes, where I'm not a huge fan of like a white under eye, and that powder when you're baking with it really sets starkly. So I've been kind of rethinking how I'm baking. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put on this first, the concealer. But there are so many ways to do makeup, and a lot of it has to do with planes on your face. Like, how does your face catch the light on its own? And then how do you enhance that? I'm not going to tell you it's easy. All of these queens that spend all of their early years in front of a mirror and living on the Instagrams and that are very smart. They spend a lot of time perfecting that makeup application. Something I like to do is I do take a white. This is the e.l.f. 16-hour camo. I just put like right under my eye where all my bags are, right on the tip of my nose, right there, right there. I just like to kind of goose these areas up, a bit of white, just in those areas. This is the Mayron powder, but I put it in a old airspun case because it's just easier to get at. I'm just gonna put that there, and just a little under the eye, and the same on the other side. I love these triangle puffs because they really let you do like a straight line. This way, this isn't sitting on my face for the 2 hours that I'm doing makeup. It's just sitting there for a few minutes while I finish a few things. I'm taking this angle brush because it's kind of thick. It's not the worst thing. It's not the best thing. And I've been using the Juvia's Place bronzed palette. This is their deep dark, and I love these two colors. These two are perfect for me. It used to just bother me to put all this brown on the middle of my face, but then when you see it, it's like, oh, okay. I'm now going to take, this is a Trixie brush. I'm not sure what it's for. You know what a brush like this is for? Let me know. I'm going to use it to brush out this powder here. The trick to making your nose not look overly contoured is to brush the lighter powder up into the darker powder so that you don't have such a severely brown, literally brown nose. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. Could look worse, could look better. This is my MAC brush. I use this for my contour. I'm going to start with get that mirror out of your face, with the lighter color from the deep dark. And I'm just going to warm up the face a little. I like this color because it's warm. It's better in the middle of your face, like for contouring where there would still be light. You don't want it to be too dark because then it's quite severe. Now I'm going to take the darker one. This is definitely a cooler tone. And I like to pinch the brush just that little bit and get it right in behind. Again, keeping it back at first. You see how that really kind of helps deepen this area of the face? Forward just that little bit. Just that little bit. And then just back here in the jaw. Work in this area. I like to contour my neck because I don't have one. There we go. All right, now it's time for the blush. I'm excited because, as I say, I haven't used this before. This is the Back to the Fuchsia blush palette. So I'm going to start. This is my blush brush. I love this. I was sent this, and God help me, I can't remember who sent this to me. And they said I would love this brush. They did not lie. I love this brush. I'm going to go in with Moon Boots first. It's very light, but I am just going to put that right onto. Yeah, see, that's a nice color, but it's not aggressive. Yeah, God, that's really pretty. Well done, Trixie. But then I like her blushes. Pretty. And then Cyber Babe is the deeper one. And I love to put these darker shades right in the back with that depth of... Oh, Trixie. Feel badly for dissing you so much, but at the same time, where's the black? And then a Juvia's Place highlighter brush. We're going to go in with hologram and see how it looks. The nice thing is that it's not changing the color of the blush. That's what I was worried about because it's just such a dark highlighter. It's definitely more of a bruisey blush look because it's tilting purple, and I may have gone a little heavy-handed on the highlighter, but I am not mad at it, I'll tell you what. All right, so I'm going to just take just a very thin packer. This is a Docolor brush. I'm going to go into Night Shift, which is that sparkly navy. And then I'm going to dip into infomercial next to it, the Blurply shimmer. Now I'm going to take the NYX Jumbo Pencil, and I just want to darken this line here a little. Yeah, I like how that just helped define that. These are great pencils. I don't know why people don't talk about them more. Now, let's put my beauty mark on. My beauty mark's moved. It used to be in the here, but I've gone more for a Marilyn Monroe cheek dimple. I felt like there I was kind of getting the stink eye, but there it's just like, me. All right, because it's Trixie, I'm going to use Kimchi. I'm not sure I'm a fan of her liquid liner yet, but it's not horrible. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this eyeliner. I don't know why. Don't get me wrong, it's not the worst. I will say this, because the Kimchi eyeliner is very sticky for some reason, it really does grab its setting powder well. But setting it with a powder helps a lot. So I'm using Signing Off, that navy, just to set this. Ooh, I don't hate it. Ooh, look at the depth. Look at it! See, eyeliner and eyelashes. They're everybody's savior. Okay, so because I'm going to be using Trixie lipstick, I might as well put my lips on now. Let me get my eyelashes on, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so there's my lashes on. Now let's get these lips together. I'm using Morphe. Oh, I don't even know what this is. Oh, ginger. I'm just reading the ingredients. This is ginger, appropriately. Ooh, finally. I hate putting on my lips, I'll tell you what. All right. The one Trixie shade that I have, which I love, is Stacy. If you have never tried a Trixie Mattel lipstick before, this is the one. Such a great color. Here's the thing with lips. You can spend your whole day balancing them, and you're either going to end up with a lip down to the end of your chin, or you're going to constantly, I say go with the stank face. Just go with that. If that's how your lips end up with, leave it at that, because no one's going to get up in your grill if you got that expression on your face. Now, just making sure. I'm going to go back in with a static, which is that highlight right in the middle, and I'm just going to tap this for some highlight on that lip. Trixie has a lot of gorgeous lip glosses. And I have some, I just hate wearing lip gloss. Maybe I will throw on a lip gloss. Look, for somebody who doesn't like lip gloss, I have all the lip glosses. If you need to borrow a lip gloss, come see me. I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with this one from Trixie. It is called Melodrama. It's a pink lip gloss. My only problem with lip gloss is it sticks in my wigs. Like, I'm not putting my wigs near my lips, but, you turn wind, things happen. And I'm just not a fan of that. So I much prefer to gloss my lips with powder, which keeps them dry, but not so bad. Not so bad at all. All right. So all I got to do now is change my top, put on my hair, and I'll be right back. Oh, Trixie. And we're done. Ooh, she is nighttime realness. Let me tell you what. as advertised, this is my review of the Trixie Mattel Nighttime Realness. And how do I like it? I like it as much, if not more, than the Daytime Realness, the original, which spawned it all. In fact, I like this a third more because, well, there's a third row of shadows. How do you not love it more? I'm just asking you. I'm sorry, but this is gorgeous makeup. I think that it goes on beautifully. It blends beautifully. Of all the Trixie Mattels, maybe it's because it's all blue. Maybe this palette is a winner for me because they're all blue tones. Nothing's fighting with each other. Nothing's trying to be more or less than it is. It's just some nice blues, some deep tones, and some incredible shimmers. And I also was very, very happy to receive Back to the Fuchsia. I love that. I would never have bought this palette, blush palette on my own, just because I thought the color story was a little dark, especially because I am in love with the Summer of Blush from Trixie Mattel. But this is gorgeous. This highlighter, I'm sorry, but it looks like just gray tin. It couldn't look less appealing, but it goes on really sheer. It gives you some nice metallic shine without taking over or disrupting the other colors on your face. Excellent. Trixie Mattel's blushes, always gorgeous. I've had a love-hate relationship with her makeup palettes, but as I say, this was my first love with Trixie. I've been comparing everything to it since. With the Nighttime Realness, comparing it to the original, it's way better. It's way better because, well, there's an extra row of shadows in there. So, let me know, do you have this? Did you get the Trixie Mattel Nighttime Realness? Did you ever have the Daytime Realness? The thing with Daytime Realness was that it kind of came and went. They have never restocked it. And maybe they never restocked it because they were planning on the relaunch with the extra row of shadows in it. I don't know. But let me know. Do you have it? What did you think? Have you compared the two? Was it something you were excited to hear coming down the pike? Or were you like me and doubting and judging and waiting for somebody to force you to have a look at it? Either way, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you also have not subscribed to my channel, please do that. Seriously. There are also links down below for ways that you can help support the Fingerdoo review. And until next time, miss me? Mwah. Seriously. Oh, she's gorgeous. Look at her. Look at her.